Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make are oat cranberry muffins. It's a pretty easy and quick recipe, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to begin with is 2 eggs, and I've had them at room temperature. Now you'll want to beat the eggs just to break them up. You don't have to, beat them too long, that they're pale yellow or anything like that. Just, get them beaten. Now, you can use your hand mixer, certainly, if you don't want to use your stand. I always do use my stand because I think it's easier for the video. So just go ahead and beat those eggs. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is a cup of milk into your eggs. And then again, just, have them stir together. You're also going to be putting in 6 tablespoons of oil. Now I'm using sunflower oil, but you go ahead and use whatever type of oil that you prefer for baking. I'm also going to be putting in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'm just going to turn my speed up just a little bit here. Okay, and that's well combined. The next thing for our dry ingredients is that you're going to need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. That was 1 tablespoon. And then I'm just going to stir that with my spoon. The next dry ingredient, you're going to need 1 2/3 cups of your oats. And we're going to put a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And the same thing, I'm just going to combine this with my spoon, just mix it together. And then I'm going to add my flour to it and just stir it all together. Just so that it's well mixed. All the dry is mixed together. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to beat in slowly this dry mixture, of course, with our wet. And as I mentioned, it's a really easy recipe. Now you don't want to overbeat these muffins because they'll become dense and heavy, and you don't want that to happen. So you just really want to wait till they just come together, well mixed, well combined. And it doesn't take but a few minutes as you noticed. And I'm going to take my paddle off here. Set that aside. And I'll show you what the mixture looks like. And then with my spatula, I'm just going to make sure that the sides of my bowl and the bottom of my mixing bowl, everything's been combined. And then there's your batter. And next, of course, you're going to need cranberries. I used 3/4 of a cup of frozen cranberries. Now, if you don't want to use the frozen as I have, just go ahead and use your dried cranberries. And just, I like to just fold them in. Just try to, you don't want to overbeat. I don't like to break all my cranberries up for these. Now, if you're using the dried, you won't have to worry about that. So just fold those in. And then you get this pretty colored batter. Okay, and it's going to render and yield you 12 muffins. And I'm just going to use my large ice cream scoop. And just make sure that, every one of your liners is equal in the amount of batter so they bake up evenly and nicely. All right, and I'm not going to fill all of them, just to give you an idea. Now, you're going to bake these at 400 degrees, and they're going to take you anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. I like to start watching mine around 12 or 13 minutes because, as we do realize, all ovens set up so differently. Now, when they do come out of the oven, I generally let them just sit on a cooling rack for a minute or two, and then I release them from the pan and let them sit on the cooling rack. Now these muffins can be served warm or you can eat them cold. You can put a little butter on them if you want, or jam, that type of thing. They're great for breakfast or really any time, for even a snack with a glass of milk, cup of coffee, tea, that type of thing. And this is how they will bake up. You'll have a nice golden top to them, okay? And I'm going to just take the paper liner off. Now mine are still a little bit warm, so the release of the paper is a little bit harder when they're warm. But anyway, you can see the beautiful golden brown. I hope that you can see on the bottom. And then I'm going to just, cut into one to show you the texture or the flake. And you'll have this beautifully moist but light texture inside these muffins. They're so delicate that when you eat them, they almost melt in your mouth. It's a really easy, a quick recipe to put together. I hope you try this recipe. If you do and you like it, well, leave a comment because I'd like to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to Diane Lovetobake. I'll see you soon.